This is a Shavasana practice, which is a deep relaxation through the physical body, the energy, pranamaya kosha, the mind. It's really helpful to do relaxation practices, and often helpful to do guided relaxation practices, because it helps to keep our mind focused. That layer of the mind that tends to wander away can wander away for a while at times, but in this way there will always be another direction to put your attention to this part of the body, or to rest your attention on the breath or something. So guided relaxations can be very helpful. The practice of doing a Shavasana relaxation is to keep your mind really alert and also very relaxed. And so we relax the body, the energy, the breath, the lower level of the mind. And we also remain quite sharp and focused in the higher level of the mind at the same time as we're very relaxed. So the higher level of the mind tends not to be the part that generates the activity. That's the manas, the lower level of the mind, where the thought stream goes through. So as we're working, try to keep your focus on the part of the body that we're working with, and on the breath or the energy, whatever it is that we're paying attention to at that time. If you notice that your attention is wandering off, just bring it back. It's natural for that to happen. And over time we can train the mind to be more focused and to stay in touch with what it is that we're working with. If you feel like you're falling asleep, you could open your eyes for a moment, refocus again. This particular Shavasana practice, we're going to be working with safety. So as we go through the different parts of the body, we're just going to notice, does it feel safe in this part of my body right now? Even hearing those words might have generated a bit of anxiety or wondering what's going to happen. It's nothing dramatic. We're simply going to be going through the body, relaxing, noticing what's there. So starting with the awareness of the whole body. When we begin a practice, we always bring our attention to the whole entire body from head to toes. Be aware of the space the body is occupying. And be aware of your being, of all the layers of your experience. The physical body, the breath, the mind, and the witnessing. And be aware as well of the space in which all of this is arising. The space of your body, the time that we're in this present moment. And let your focus rest in this moment in time. Withdraw your mind from all other times, all other places. And bring your attention to the scalp and the forehead and the eyebrows. It's very common for people to have worry in the forehead. Raise your eyebrows up and down a couple of times. And let that muscle layer on the eyebrows and the forehead become softer. Notice the breath as it flows through the nose, between the base of the nostrils and the eyebrow center. Notice the eyes, the deep muscles of the eyes, the eyelids, the corners of the eyes. And as you're paying attention to this surface of the head and coming into the middle area of the head just a little bit, notice if there's any sensation. Often there's experience of thought and images coming up in that part of the head. Be aware of the lower part of the head, the jaw, the mouth, the tongue, the lips, the ears, that the sound is coming through the ears into the brain, the whole back of the scalp, the neck. And right now, notice if there's anything of concern in the head area. If there's any feeling of something's not quite safe. So noticing the whole front of the face, the muscles of the forehead, the eyes, the flow of the breath in the nose, the mouth, the jaw. And notice if your felt experience in this moment is that you're safe, that there's nothing really to be worried about in that area. And if that's not your experience, notice what it is that feels like it's something that you need to be concerned about. Maybe it's a sensation, maybe there's a certain kind of thought coming up. So as with any practice, we're not trying to eliminate anything. We're noticing what it is that's here. If something seems like it's a worry or maybe a threat, then we can look to see what it is that is experiencing the witnessing of that. Is there a sense of something that's untouched by that content that's arising? There's the witnessing of it, this part of ourselves that's observing. There's the space around it, the space in which it's arising. And there's the specific content that might be giving us that feeling of uneasiness. So notice the content always comes up as either words or images or sensations. And as you're aware of the content, focus a bit of your attention as well on the witnessing. And noticing the space all around the content. The content is arising and is being felt in the area of the head. The content isn't across the room or in another location, it's in this location where your head is, between the face and the sides of the face, the ears, the back of the head, the top of the head, and the neck. And notice that there's space all around the head. And there's the space in which the head is resting at the moment. And the content that might be appearing. So without trying to make anything different, notice your experience. And then bring your attention down. Bring your attention down into your throat, your neck, sides of the neck, and the muscles in the back of the neck. Allow all of those muscles to become softer. There's a natural relaxation that happens when we bring our attention into something that's tight. Sometimes that contraction can be quite subtle, sometimes it's very obvious. However it is that's showing up in your neck right now, notice the muscles. Notice if there's any tightness through the jaw that's being felt through the neck, down into the muscles of the upper back. Notice there may be sensation that's not directly physical, it's more energetic. And notice if there's anything of concern in the area of the neck. Anything that feels a bit threatening or not safe. And notice as well if there is a feeling of safety, that this part of the body, in my experience right now, in this part of the body feels okay. If there's any feeling of something's not okay, notice how it is that you know that. Could be a sensation that feels kind of intense. Could be words or images that are Velcro to the sensation. And keeping in touch with the space in which all of this is arising, this space of awareness that is untouched by the content. Notice the space all around the neck. And then come down into that space of your upper body, the muscles of the shoulders, the big muscles of the back. Very common for us to have tightness or contraction along the back of our body. See if you can allow yourself to relax and be fully supported by the chair or the floor. When we're in Shavasana, we can allow ourselves to be supported in such a way that there's no muscle activation needed at all. Being aware of the arms as well, from the shoulders down through to the hands and fingers. Notice the energy. Notice if there's anything that's concerning you about the energy or the experience of noticing your arms and hands. Notice the large muscles along the front of the chest. And how they go around towards the sides of the rib cage. Notice that in this part of the body you can feel the movement of the breath. And bring your attention to the inner space. Notice if there's any feeling that needs to be looked at or paid attention to, if there's any feeling of anxiety there, or if there's a feeling of safety or neutrality. Just notice what your experience is when you're paying attention to the upper part of the chest, the large muscles of the back, the arms, the chest, and then that space that's protected by the rib cage. And if there's any feeling of concern or something's wrong, notice how it is that that's experienced. If there's a sensation that feels like there's something wrong, or if there's words or images on that sensation. Witnessing that sensation, and if there are words and images coming with it, that's arising in a certain part of the body. There's space all around that. And look to see if that presents any immediate danger to you right now. And if it does, look at how that's arising. How is it that you know that? When there are words and images connected with sensation, it often has more of a meaning when we can see the words and images and also see the sensation as sensation directly. It can be a different experience. So as you're noticing the content, notice as well the part of you that's observing the content, that's witnessing. Notice the space in which this is all arising. The space all around it. Bringing your attention now into the lower part of the abdomen, from the diaphragm, the lower rib cage, down through to the pelvic floor, the hips. From the stomach muscles to the spine and the large muscles along the spine through the lower back. Notice your experience. Notice if there's any sensation in the inside core. Notice that there's movement with the muscles of the abdomen. The stomach expands as you breathe in and releases as you breathe out. Notice if you feel safe putting your attention in this part of your body. Look to see if there's anything going on right now that's creating a feeling of doom or not being safe. And if that's the case, notice how it is you know that there's something not safe about it. There might be words or images. It might be the intensity of a sensation. And keeping in touch as well with the observation that's happening, that this is all content that's being seen. Notice the space all around the sensation or all around that part of your body, and that space is untouched by what's happening on the space of the body. Notice the space in which all of this is arising. And bring your attention down into your legs, the upper legs, the lower legs, down into the feet and the toes, the soles of the feet. Notice the energy through the legs and the feet. Notice what your felt experience is right now when you're paying attention to the legs. Relax the large muscles of the thighs. Notice the energy in the soles of the feet. Noticing the space all around the legs, and notice if there's anything in the space where the legs are that's of concern. Or notice if there's more of a neutral feeling. Notice your own experience right now. And then bring your attention back to your entire body from head to toes. The head, the arms, the legs, the torso. The front of your body. The movement in the body with the breath. The sides of the body. And the back of the body where you're being supported in the environment. Notice there might be an image of your body in space. And notice if there's anything going on right now in your experience that feels like a threat, that feels like you're not safe. And if that is coming up, notice how it is that you know that. Let your attention be drawn to whatever it is that seems to be of concern. Notice that it's words, pictures, sensation. And that that's all being observed. It's arising in the space the body is occupying. And notice the space all around your body as well. And that more subtle space in which this is arising. The space of awareness that is not affected at all by the content in it. And scan your body, notice your body from head to toes again. Looking to see if there's any sense of safety. Does your body feel like a safe place to be putting your attention in right at the moment? Just for the next few minutes, is there anything that you need to protect yourself from? That you need to be alert about? Or could you relax completely, letting yourself notice the body from head to toes? Be completely supported by your environment. Notice the breathing, the energy in the body. And if your experience was that there was some areas where there was sensation or some thoughts were arising that seemed to be of concern, see if you could allow that to be just set to the side for a moment. If there's something that you need to know, it'll come back later. For now, rest your attention completely. Allow yourself to be aware of your body from head to toes. The space your body is occupying and the space all around your body. Noticing that which is never affected by the content. It's not affected by the body, by thought, by sensation. And then as you open your eyes, remain aware now and through the day that there's the body that we're in, the space our bodies are in. There's the content that arises in the form of words, images, sensations, movements of the body. And there's also this space in which nothing changes. The space of awareness of the content arising and of the unchanging nature of our being.